to introduce our next president, the 12th president of Washington State University, Dr. Elizabeth Cantwell.
And the presidential ceremony took place. But one important individual was not in attendance. We'll tell you who. Murrow News 8 starts now.
The Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
I'm Macy Harden.
And I'm Ella Kastner. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
You may know her name now, but who is Elizabeth Cantwell? We had our reporter Emmett Brisgornia dig a little deeper to find out more about our new president.
Elizabeth Cantwell has been named the 12th president of Washington State University. She will be the first female to serve in this role. Cantwell will begin April 1st, with current president Kirk Schultz taking on the new title of Senior Advisor, assisting in Cantwell's transition. Cantwell will be listed as a faculty member of the Voiland College of Engineering, as she has a background in being an aerospace engineer. As soon as the announcement was official Thursday, she resigned from her role as president of Utah State University, where she served as the president there for the past 18 months. Some notable achievements:
a record-breaking $495 million in sponsored research expenditures, 10% increase in student scholarship funding, and the expansion of physical infrastructure.
I do value transparency incredibly, and that means every aspect of our community and our ability to communicate with one another.
Transparency will need to be a focal point as she leaves Logan, Utah with some issues still unresolved. The university is facing multiple lawsuits centered around an alleged handling of a domestic violence incident in the spring of 2023, involving Utah State's former head football coach, Blake Anderson, and assistant athletic director, Jerry Bovee. One suit alleges the university administration's use of a private messaging app with the intent to not be discoverable for public records requests. Another suit involves the Department of Justice alleging, quote, substantial noncompliance by the university in regards to Title IX violations. Cantwell will live in the Ida Lou Anderson House, formerly the governor's mansion, until at least December of this year, where the Board of Regents will then decide where Cantwell will operate while performing her duties for Washington State University. Reporting from Pullman, I'm Emmett Brisgornia, keeping you up to date here on Murrow News 8.
The WSU Board of Regents told WSU Insider that new president Dr. Elizabeth Cantwell has ambitious visions for WSU. Chair of the Board of Regents, Lisa Keohokolole Shower, said Cantwell is passionate about her students' success and her leadership will be of great value to WSU. The board also recognized Cantwell's experience as a president of a land-grant university at Utah State University. Another focus of Cantwell's presidency is on WSU's land-grant efforts.
Last April, Kirk Schultz announced his retirement set for June of this year. The Board of Regents has pushed for Schultz to step down as president March 30th, one day before the new president is expected to start work in Pullman. Schultz did not attend the president's ceremony or the press conference for new football coach Jimmy Rogers, and according to Coug fan sources, he was asked not to attend.
Enrollment at WSU has dropped by over 16% since fall of 2019, and the Pullman campus has seen a decline of nearly 4,000 students. Reporter Avian Martinez has more.
In the past couple years, WSU has had a steady drop in student admissions. I talked to Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Sarah Stout, to get a little more information.
Trying to make a decision to go to college, and the way they were learning in high school was very different than what college expects. So I think the transition from home to college during the last few years has been harder because of the impact COVID had on them in high school. Now we're thinking of, okay, how do we get students that want to be back in the classroom face-to-face in Pullman? And that's hard. It's hard to think about that because students have learned how to learn online. They've learned how to function, live a life. They've learned how to have a job and go to school full-time.
Mika DeMarco, Director of Recruitment, spoke on the contrary, stating that the freshman incoming class is actually on the rise.
So one of our big projects this year was what we called Apple Cup Blitz. It was on particularly the west side, but all over the state, the week of Apple Cup. We went into high schools. We went into, I think, over 80 and admitted students on site. We saw about 1,200 students apply at those. So being able to give them that one-on-one attention is something that not every school is able to do, but we are. And we're finding that students respond well to that and come here when they can receive that attention and know that somebody at WSU cares about them.
Despite a general decline in admissions, it seems like the future generations are still looking up to WSU and are not yet willing to close that door just yet. Avi Martinez reporting.
ICE has made its way to Washington, and they might be closer than you think. We'll tell you where after the break.
And a former Idaho public figure's conviction has been upheld. We'll tell you who and what they did next.
Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
The Idaho Supreme Court upheld former legislator Aaron Von Ellinger rape conviction. Von Ellinger was found guilty of raping a 19-year-old legislative intern while he was serving in the Idaho House in 2021. In 2022, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Cameron Kittle, a 19-year-old Moscow man accused of possessing and distributing child pornography, has agreed to plead guilty in federal court. The agreement recommends a sentence of no less than 10 years with a maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison. Kittle was arrested by Moscow police last July after officers received a tip that he was sharing child pornography over Snapchat.
Yesterday, the Idaho House overwhelmingly voted to pass HB 37, a bill that would make death by firing squad the state's primary method of execution. Representative Bruce Skog supported the bill, stating that death by firing squad is a more humane execution method because it is quick and certain. Following a 58-11 vote, the bill will now head off to the Senate. If passed, Idaho will be the only state to have death by firing squad as their primary death penalty method. Idaho currently has 9 inmates on death row.
There have been local immigration enforcement incidents in Spokane. A video recorded over the weekend shows armed officers questioning a man outside of his home.
Nobody else is in the house?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
According to the woman's social media post, officers questioned her roommate about his birthplace and demanded identification. This incident comes after a Spokane Community College student was arrested by the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Immigration attorney Alicia Moss advises individuals who are approached by Border Control or ICE to request a warrant. WSU Student Rec Center is one of the most popular spots on campus. However, issues with parking have begun to arise. Reporter Nick Rodabaugh has more on students' concerns.
Feels like an all-out battle, honestly, just trying to find a parking spot.
The Student Recreation Center is one of the more popular spots on campus, especially in the early evenings, and that is one of the toughest times to find parking. Daniel Amami and other students struggle with this often.
This semester, almost every time, if I go past 3 or past 5-ish, it's been pretty bad, just having to keep circling over and over again.
Imami is not the only student who has to circle the SRC parking lot.
So I came earlier that day around like 3 o'clock and decided like I'm just going to come later. And then I thought I'd came at a late enough time. However, the parking lot was still insanely full.
I'm standing here at the Red 5 parking lot, and behind me is the Student Rec Center. The Red 5 parking lot can be somewhere where students can park if the rec lot is full. However, many students have concerns about overflow parking, so I was able to sit down with Parking and Transportation Services and answer some of these questions.
There's no overflow, so if I want to claim free time, I need to be able to utilize the SRC lot, the designated lot. But if I'm not worried about claiming that free time and I want to get my workout in, and I'm willing to either use the bus for free with my Cougar card or go and park. The nearest lot over there is the tennis courts lot, which is a Red 5 lot.
Many students get confused between the Red 5 lot and the Gray 1 lot.
The southwest end of the lot is Red 5. So that's commuter permit holders can park in that lot. There's also hourly pay per use in that lot via the Ames Mobile Pay, so the AMP Park app. The northeast side of the lot, which is Gray 1, is reserved for residence hall student permit holders.
Cater has some big ideas on how to fix the parking issue.
I also think that there is room for an expansion with the parking, as there is that, I believe there's that spot on the hill to the side of when you enter that could potentially be a spot to expand the parking.
Reporting in Pullman, Nick Rodabaugh, Murrow, News 8.
The Super Bowl is this Sunday. Our reporter Joey went out asking students for their predictions on the big game.
My heart's telling me the Eagles got it, especially with guys like Saquon. But my mind's telling me the Chiefs, just because they just seem so unstoppable. So I think the Chiefs are going to take it, but I really hope the Eagles win.
Man, I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles won it just because the Chiefs stole it from them 2 years ago.
I like both teams, but I think Kansas is going to take it. I just found out Kendrick was performing, so now I'm kind of more excited about Kendrick. But, I mean, both the game and the halftime show are going to be pretty cool. I hope.
It's been a snowy week here in Pullman. We'll tell you how you can be safe on the roads.
Our weatherman Avian has the full report on what to expect through the weekend.
She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
With the temperatures dropping in the Palouse, some students are used to it. Others aren't. Our reporter Joey went on campus to hear what students had to say.
I'm Alaska, so I'm kind of used to it, but I still hate it. It's still awful.
I've slept a couple times, I will not lie. It's terrible.
Hopefully I haven't fallen yet. I have friends that have fallen, but haven't been victim to that yet.
Doing all the like maintenance stuff, taking out trash. It's like I don't want to go out there. I gotta put a coat on. It's freezing out here, you know.
Going outside as little as possible.
Like I want to say I'm a cold person, but like I enjoy the summers here, you know.
After a flurry of snow hits the Palouse, driving conditions are always a top priority. Our reporter Bailey Peffer spoke to WSU Police's Assistant Chief Don Daniels to learn more about how to safely navigate the winter weather.
Overnight snowfall left roads icy and campus covered in snow, making it difficult for students to get to campus. Washington State University Assistant Chief of Police Don Daniels advises drivers to slow down and avoid sudden braking.
You know, on campus we have a lot of pedestrians, so students can make sure that they're being proactive and looking at crosswalks prior to reaching them and slowing down at those to make sure that they're able to stop safely for pedestrians that are crossing. That's always a good thing as well.
The snowfall overnight led to slick and slushy roads across the university. While some classes were canceled, many students still had to navigate the cold and snowy conditions to attend in-person lectures.
Whether you're a seasoned winter driver or new to these conditions, looking at you Californians, make sure to drive slowly, clear off those windshields, and give yourself a little more time to get to your destination.
The Assistant Chief of Police give a few pointers to students who are new to driving in this weather.
1, drive slower. Give yourself more stopping distance because your car could slide.
Also,
make sure that you have traction devices on your vehicle.
And lastly,
and understand how braking works in the snow.
And for those walking around campus, the icy sidewalks have proved just as tricky. Many students say they had to take small, careful steps to avoid slipping.
And this is Bailey Pepper reporting.
I don't know about you, Avian, but that wind chill sure put a dent in my walk to class. Can you tell us more about the forecast?
Absolutely. You know, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I want that wind to chill, if you get my meaning. Now, if we take a look at the weather here, we are going to hit a high of 26 and a low of 15 with some snow. So please watch out while you're out there. For tomorrow, we are going to stick with high 20s and we are going to get a low 20 at the end of the night. So it won't be too cold, hopefully. As we look at this state map, the rest of the state is actually doing a lot better than us, and they're going to have some high 30s and even some low 40s. I wish we could have some of that, to be a little honest with you. Let me see. And then with Pullman, again, we are in those mid-20s with the low teens. I'm not excited about it, but that's exactly what we got going on. If we look at the 5-day forecast here, we are going to stick with that common theme of mid to low 20s, and we're going to see some teens. And especially if you look at this following Tuesday, we're actually going to hit the negatives with a -2. So please bundle up as much as you can. So, I mean, I want that wind to chill, and honestly, I'll give you the cold truth out here, pun intended. I want you guys to bundle up with a good sweater, some nice pants, and, you know, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Avian. A Cougar sports team is off to its best start since 2019. We'll tell you which team and just how hot they really are.
And some say it's the craziest deadline in NBA history. Our sports reporter, Emery Lefesti, will fill you in on the madness after the break.
Days, months.
Was I like right on cue there? I was trying to wrap it up.
Years. A lifetime. Can rush by without realizing
I do that a
what
lot
we're
where
missing.
I'm like, I don't know, man. And also
But
I
it
love
doesn't have to
corny
be that
jokes,
way. we have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
I mean, obviously it's pretty low right now because we're on a 4-game losing streak, but we know that you got to go through tough times to have great times. So.
Nice quote from Nate Calmese there, but it would have been a lot nicer if the Cougs play could have backed it. I'm Emery LaFesti. Welcome to Murrow 8 News Sports. We've got a wild one today. The WSU men's basketball team had another damning loss to the Oregon State Beavers to drop all 5 of their previous games. Get it? Damning? Because they're Beavers? It's all right. Tough crowd. Nate Calmese put up 25 in the losing effort, and Ethan Price put up an efficient 13 points. The Cougars' next chance to break this tough losing skid comes tomorrow at Beasley versus Peppertine. Cougar women's basketball is looking to extend their 3-game winning streak tomorrow with a game against the #1 team in the WCC, none other than the Gonzaga Bulldogs. It's going to be a real tough matchup as Gonzaga is on its own 10-game winning streak. Despite this, the Cougs women team only stands a game and a half behind Gonzaga in the WCC standings. Yesterday was the NBA trade deadline, and boy, did it not disappoint. A total of 8 former or current All-Stars were traded during the season. It all started earlier in the week with a swap of Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis, a trade that shocked everybody in the league outside of maybe just the 2 general managers that were handling it. De'Aaron Fox was dealt to the Spurs in a 3-team deal, which sent back Zach LaVine and picks to Sacramento. Other trades include Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, Brandon Ingram to the Raptors, and a Chris Middleton and Kyle Kuzma swap. The NFL Honors Awards show took place yesterday, and during the event, the NFL gives out all of its awards for this season. Josh Allen won the MVP award in a mighty tight race against Lamar Jackson. Saquon Barkley took home Offensive Player of the Year after posting 2,000 rushing yards for the first time since Derrick Henry in 2020. Patrick Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year, making him just the 12th cornerback ever to win the award, and the first since Stephon Gilmore won it back in 2019. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels took home Offensive Rookie of the Year honors, and Rams' Jared Verse took home the rookie honors on the defensive side of the field. 2 Cougars have made it into the Super Bowl. Hooray! However, both of them are on the same side as Taylor Swift and that guy that appears in all the State Farm commercials. What's up with him? After missing half the year due to injuries, Jalen Watson has played over half of the defensive snaps for the Chiefs in their last 2 playoff games. He'll look to make an impact in the biggest game of the year. Former Coug defensive back Jaden Hicks has mixed in much more with the Chiefs defense in the second half of the season, and he has played 2/3 of the snaps for the Chiefs in their last 2 playoff games. Well, speaking of playoff games, I feel like there's a big one coming up. Oh yeah, this Sunday is the one and only Super Bowl. This year's Super Bowl is a rematch of the close contest from a couple of years ago, where the Chiefs bested the Eagles 38-35. That year's Super Bowl was known as the Kelsey Bowl, but only one Kelsey remains, so now we could just call it the Nobody Wants the Chiefs to Win Bowl.
Well, it's pretty clear who Emory wants to win the big game. I personally will be voting for the Chiefs. You know, as a Patriots fan, I know what it's like to have the whole league against you. People just hate to see winners win. What about you, Macy?
Oh, I'm rooting for the Eagles all the way. Chiefs have had their stardom. I agree with Emory, for sure.
Right.
As excited as Emory is for the big game, let's talk about real MVP for Sunday, the food.
We are going to break down the official Fox Sports ranking of the top 5 Super Bowl foods after the break.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Well, the Super Bowl is this Sunday, but for a lot of people, the game is not the most important event of the day. I know I, for one, am looking forward to the food. Fox Sports has made a list ranking the best Super Bowl foods. At number 5, they put sliders. Following that, nachos. Number 3 goes to chips and dip. The runner-up is pizza, and the number 1 ranked best Super Bowl food is wings. Whether you are watching for the halftime show, the commercials, or the game, there's no better way to enjoy it than all with some food to snack on. And I don't know about you guys, but I sure am getting hungry talking about all that yummy Super Bowl food, getting me ready for Sunday.
Was there anything you guys feel like was left off the list?
Ooh, left off the list. Not particularly left off, but I love wings, right? No offense to wings. But chips and dips at number 3, that just might be, that's bad. You know, nothing beats a good chips and guac to me. So personally, that one hurt me a little. I don't know about you guys.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm going to be the oddball here. I love boneless wings. Everyone says you are a criminal if you don't like bone-in, but I like some boneless wings with some ranch.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. I love me a good bone-in. I got to work for it. Got to get the prize.
My roommate makes the best buffalo chicken dip. I feel like that might have been left off the list a little, but I guess that could go into chips and dip. It's a pretty broad category there.
Well, some people call them chicken nuggets, but, you know, I agree with you, Avian. Big boneless wing fan. I think they get disrespected too much.
Thank you for watching Murrow News 8.
Check out our socials on Instagram and TikTok, as well as our website on nwpb.org.